many people in the government, also some members of the media, to talk about the very close relations and cooperation between the United States and Macedonia. It was a good occasion for me to reiterate what I know Ambassador Bailey often does, which is to thank the government and people of Macedonia for the excellent cooperation we have on some extremely important issues, including our fight against terrorism. Our forces work together in Afghanistan, our common efforts to combat the Islamic State, ISIL. We have many areas in which we're doing some extremely important work together, and we're very grateful to the government and people of Macedonia for that. Of course, it was also a good opportunity to catch up on all the developments since I was last here in Skopje almost a year ago. As you know, last April, last spring, when I was here, the political crisis was quite new, and it was a challenge that we have been working closely with your government and with the European Union to try to help progress towards an exit of this crisis. And I was very pleased to note that a lot of positive steps have taken place since last April. In particular, the signing of the Persiano Agreement, and I was able to talk with government officials about the implementation of that agreement. That includes, of course, the elections, which are now scheduled for June 5th. The Embassy of the United States, the European Union, other partners of Macedonia are continuing their support to the government and the parties and the institutions in Macedonia to ensure that the elections on June 5th will be as free and fair and credible as possible. We're providing support to the State Electoral Commission. We are providing regular feedback, advice to the institutions and to the government on how we see progress towards the elections on June 5th, and we'll continue to do so. I think you know, based on the announcement that Ambassador Bailey, together with his counterpart in the European Union, made on January 29th, that we are looking very closely at some specific issues, and that includes the voters lists, which are in the process of being updated. We're very glad to see that some of the cross-checks of the voters lists have taken place. We're also looking, of course, at media reform and the role of media in ensuring a level playing field for elections during the pre-electoral period. We are also looking closely at the overall environment in which voters will be able to vote freely. And that specifically is the prevention of intimidation or undue pressure on voters we want to see. It's also, we hope, the maintenance of separation between the political parties and politicians, and on the other side, the state. We feel there should be a very clear separation of these two. So these are some of the issues we're following. We believe there is time to establish free and fair conditions for elections on June 5th, and we will be continuously providing our opinion, our advice on what more needs to be done. And we look forward to ways that we can provide assistance in that. And lastly, on Persiano, let me just mention one other aspect that we're following, of course, is the work of the Special Prosecutor, whose work we believe is quite important in closing this chapter, this difficult chapter in Macedonian political history. We think it's very important for all the institutions, the government and the parties to cooperate with the work of the Special Prosecutor, and that her work be as non-political, as independent as possible. And lastly, I want to say, we of course look to you, the members of the media, and the important role that you play in ensuring that the environment during the campaign is one in which voters will have access to accurate information, of course a diversity of views, but presented in a way so that voters will be able to make an informed decision about whom to vote for. Thank you very much.
You will have new assessment before 5th of June about condition for the elections?
Well, let me be clear. We have continuously assessed. We are continuously evaluating the situation. We're doing this because we're a very close partner of Macedonia. We consider ourselves to be a strategic partner and a close friend. And this is what friends are supposed to do and partners are supposed to do. We're supposed to help the government and institutions to do their work, provide the necessary support. And part of that is providing feedback, not just once or twice between now and June, but on a regular basis. And we will be doing that.
Did you recognize any attempts to sabotage the agreement, offered agreement, and if so, who is doing that?
Persian agreement.
Persian agreement, yes.
What we have noticed is that there are efforts being made now to implement the agreement, that parties understand the important stake that Macedonia has in implementation of the agreement. It's not only about this commitment that the parties have made to each other and to the European Union, to the international community. It's about the future of Macedonia. Only with the implementation of this agreement will Macedonia be able to begin the next chapter of its efforts to integrate with the Euro-Atlantic community. Only by implementing the provisions of the Persian Agreement will Macedonia continue to have the strong support it needs to not only move forward in integration with the Euro-Atlantic Community, but to strengthen its economy, to attract foreign investment, to attract more companies to come and create jobs and opportunities for young people. So I think there are, of course, many different views about the best way to implement the agreement, but I sense that there is a commitment by the parties to implement it.
Mr. Yi, you all the time say you appeal that all the institutions, all the parties respect the special prosecution. And yet we had the special prosecution just a day ago where they say that a lot of those institutions don't support their work. They don't collaborate with the special prosecution. So what's your comment about that?
Well, again, we have in all of our meetings today and yesterday emphasized the importance of supporting the special prosecutor, supporting the rule of law, ensuring that all officials responsible for the crisis are held accountable for their actions in accordance with the rule of law, of course, in accordance with due process. So I think our message has been understood and heard by all the political parties. We expect them to support the special prosecutor. We will be watching and providing when we see either violations or obstruction, we will be providing our advice on how that needs to be addressed.
There are some attempts maybe for inter-ethnic relations to be worsened and to have maybe a problem. While you were here last night, we have a protest, putting crosses and all other symbols, which are really, how dangerous is that for the Persian agreement, for political situation?
Well, I think it's difficult to talk about one incident in isolation. I think it is important that all of the parties, all members of society, all ethnic groups, all members of different religions work together, work within their communities to foster greater mutual understanding and mutual respect and tolerance. That should be the goal of not only political leaders but civic society, NGOs, heads of churches and religions. The country now needs to be pulling together and working together towards a common goal of a better, brighter future integrated in Europe, of a better environment for economic growth, of opportunities for young people. And these kinds of incidents, which are inevitable, and they do occur in other countries, including my own. The important thing is how political leaders, religious leaders, civic society leaders react. So we count on these leaders to do what is responsible, and that is to try in ways to mend wounds, to heal divides. And we think that there are responsible leaders that know what they need to do.
You will insist on media reform anymore?
I'm sorry.
In the meeting with the authorities, did you discuss the possibility of delaying the 5th of June elections in terms of if the benchmarks are not implemented, reforms and media reforms? And
there's no purpose, we believe, in dealing with hypothetical questions. Our goal is to work with the authorities to do everything possible to ensure that the conditions are free and fair on June 5th. We believe there is adequate time if all party leaders, if the media, if government leaders do their jobs and work towards this goal we believe there was enough time to establish these conditions. And it's much more important, I think, to think about what needs to be done in the areas of the voters lists, the media reforms, creating the right environment. That's much more important that we do that, rather than speculating about alternatives.